Radhadesh Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Iti Namine Namo Krishna Padaya Krishna Prasaya Gurunare Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Iti
Saraswati Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON ABG, Founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada Ki. Yom Vishwapad Brahmahamsa Parivakacharya, Saraswati Divine Grace, Srimad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki. Brahmachari Shri Haridas Thakur Ki. Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Dvaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki. Vrindavan Dham Ki. Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki. Ganga Maya Ki. Yamuna Devi Ki. Tulsi Maharani Ki. Shri Bhakti Devi Ki. Harinam Sankirtan Ki. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru, Shri Guru, glories to Shri Guru.
Radha
So, Hare Krishna. Actually, my name is Vipula Krishna Das. Like nickname. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 So, we're reading this morning from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 2, and many verses, like wholesale here. So we start with text 25. Vivimshate sutoramba.
Vivimshate sutoramba.
Vivimshate sutoramba.
Vivimshate sutoramba.
Kani netrosya dharmika.
Kani netrosya dharmika.
Kani netrosya dharmika.
Kani netrosya dharmika.
Karandamo Maharaja.
Karandamo Maharaja.
Karandamo Maharaja.
Karandamo Maharaja.
Tasyasit atmano nripa.
Tasyasit atmano nripa.
Tasyasit atmano atmajo nripa.
Tasyasit atmajo nripa.
Vivimshate sutoramba.
Vivimshate sutoramba.
Kani netrosya dharmika.
Kani netrosya dharmika.
Karandamo Maharaja.
Karandamo Maharaja.
Tasyasit atmajo nripa.
Tasyasit atmajo nripa.
Vivimshate sutoramba.
Vivimshate sutoramba.
Kani netrosya dharmika.
Kani netrosya dharmika.
Karandamo Maharaja.
Karandamo Maharaja.
Tasyasit atmajo nripa.
Tasyasit atmajo nripa.
Vivimshate sutoramba.
Vivimshate sutoramba.
Kaninterosya dharmikaha.
Kani netrosya dharmika.
Karandamo Maharaja.
Karandamo Maharaja.
Tasya sad atma o.
Tasyasit atmajo nripa.
Mataji?
Vivimshate sutoramba.
Vivimshate sutoramba.
Kani netrosya dharmika.
Kani netrosya dharmika.
Karandamo Maharaja.
Karandamo Maharaja.
Tasyasit atmajo nripa.
Tasyasit atmajo nripa.
Vivimshate sutoramba.
Vivimshate sutoramba.
Netrosya dharmika.
Kani netrosya dharmika. Karandamo Maharaja.
Tasyasit atmajo nripa.
Tasyasit atmajo nripa.
Vivimshate.
Vivimshate.
From Vivimshati.
From Vivimshate.
Suta,
Suta.
the sun. Ramba,
Ramba.
named Ramba.
Nemrama.
Kaninatra,
Kaninatra.
named Kaninatra.
Kalinatra.
Asya,
Asya.
of Ramba.
Ramba.
Dharmika,
Dharmika.
very religious.
Very religious.
Karandama,
Karandama.
named Karandama.
Named Karandama.
Maharaja,
Maharaja.
O king.
Okay.
Dasya,
Dasya.
of him Kaninatra.
Okay. Kalinatra.
Asit,
Asit.
was. Atmaja,
Atmaja.
the son.
The son.
Nripa,
Nripa.
O king.
Okay.
Translation. The son of Vivimshati was Ramba, whose son was the great and religious king Kaninetra. O king, the son of Kaninetra was King Karandama. I just read the all the other translations. From Karandama came a son named Avikshit, and from Avikshit a son named Maruta, who was the emperor. The great mystic Samvarta, the son of Angira, engaged Maruta in performing the sacrifice, yagya. Text 27. The sacrificial paraphernalia of King Maruta was extremely beautiful, for everything was made of gold. Indeed, no other sacrifice could compare to his. Text 28. In that sacrifice, King Indra became intoxicated by drinking a large quantity of samarasa. The Brahmanas received ample contributions and therefore were very satisfied. For that sacrifice, the various demigods who control of the winds offered foodstuffs, and the Vishvadevas were members of the assembly. Here's a short purport. Because of the yagya performed by Maruta, everyone was pleased, especially the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. Brahmanas are interested in receiving contributions as a priest, and Kshatriyas are interested in drinking. All of them, therefore, were satisfied with the different engagements. It's interesting for Prabhupada writes here. Kshatriyas interested in drinking. I think some countries are full of Kshatriyas, friends of Germany. And the Brahmanas, receiving contributions as a priest. I remember I was once in Brahmana in, what is the town? Varanasi. I needed some service from him. So I asked him, okay, so how big donation shall I give you? And he has said, you're asking me how much I should get? I'm Brahmana, I'm greedy. I always tell you more. You just give. I was like, I had the urge to quote in Bhagavad Gita the qualities of Ramana. Okay, we fight with it. But there is no quality of Brahmana that is greedy. It's just whatever caste he was. I mean, he was very qualified in chanting all the mantras in Sanskrit and so on. But still, yeah, not necessarily a Brahmana. Although his father, he was really Brahmana. He was like really shining in the puberty. He was very old, like 80 years old or something. And he was like, wow. But the son was, yeah, a little bit more modern. Text 29. Maruta's son was Dhamma, and Dhamma's son was Rajyavardhana. Rajyavardhana's son was Sudriti, and his son was Nara. The son of Nara was Kevala, and his son was Dunduman, who was son of Bhagavan. Bhagavan's son was Buddha, and Buddha's son was Trinabindu, who became the king of this earth. Now there are some stories about Trinabindu. Somebody may know his name. Text 31. The best of the Apsaras, the highly qualified girl named Alambusha, accepted the similarly qualified Trinabindu as her husband. She gave birth to a few sons and a daughter known as Ilavila. 32. After the great saint Vishrava, the master of mystic yoga, received absolute knowledge from his father, he begot in the womb of Ilavila the greatly celebrated son known as Kuvera, the giver of money. Now the Kuvera is the treasurer of the demigods, this Yaksha actually. Then 33. Trinabindu had 3 sons named Vishala, Shunabandhu and Dhumraketu. Among these 3, Vishala created a dynasty and constructed a palace called Vaishali. 34. The son of Vishala was known as Hemachandra, his son was Dhumraksha, and his son was Samyama, whose sons were Devaja and Krishashva. And 35 and 36. Translation: the son of Krishashva was Somadatta, who performed Ashvamedha sacrifices and thus satisfied the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. By worshipping the Supreme Lord, he achieved the most exalted post. A resident on the planet to which great mystic yogis are elevated. The son of Somadatta was Sumati, whose son was Janamejaya. All these kings appearing in the dynasty of Vishala properly maintained the celebrated position of King Trinavindu. And thus end of Bhagavatam purpose of the 9th canto, 2nd chapter, the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Dynasties of the Sons of Manu. So, usually one reads the translation again. We don't read all the translations again. Yes. So, now this part of Bhagavatam is very troublesome for the speakers usually. There's long chapters of many names and people we never heard about. But if we know like vast Vedic literature, then these names become familiar to us. And there is a reason probably why Shukadeva Goswami spoke all these names. Probably Maharaj Parikshit, he knew all those people. Like nowadays, like people read the newspaper and the son of Elvis Presley did something, and actually he had a daughter, or whatever. No, or maybe Michael Jackson here and his family, and then like, oh, Michael Jackson. I don't know. Anybody else we know? It's like, oh, interesting. So, or like, look here, the Hitler has a daughter, and this daughter did something. I was like, Hitler, daughter, wow, tell me more. We'll be a little bit excited. So, probably similar for Maharaj Parikshit, who knew all those dynasties and all those great kings and heard stories about them. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, he was the son of Hitler. Oh, okay, now I get it. I get how this all arrangement, now our whole dynasties are arranged. And for us, it's well, okay, we just read it because it's Bhagavatam, and hopefully Prabhupada writes somewhere something for us, something enlightening. I remember when I joined, I was still very young, and I was reading Bhagavatam and like Chaitanya Charitamrita. I was like, it was all this long purpose of Prabhupada. And I was, oh my God, I have to read this now. Where's the next verse? Reading the verse, that was like, And after some time, I was reading books and so on. And after like few years, I was like, oh, these verses are quite boring. Where's the purpose? So like my consciousness changed totally. I was like, I just realized, wow, there's actually Prabhupada's purpose. Because everything, very palatable and very nectarian in the books. So, as we grow in Krishna consciousness, our consciousness is supposed to grow with us, and we should change our vision of how we do things and why we do the things. Not be like just parrots, okay, now I read, okay, I read the book, I read 1 hour, okay, half an hour, whatever. Now I chant, before I chant, whatever, now what? Prasada, okay, good then. That's a nice part of the process, and so on and so forth. That's not automatical process that we follow. It's not parrot-like, or it's not like given. Sometimes we have this idea, what is the trick? Like we chant some rounds, and like sit properly and chant and like try to focus and something, and then some taste comes. And some like realizations, and like, wow, nice. And the next day we try again, and then that work, and it works again, very nicely. We get some realizations, some taste, and then the mind comes with, yeah, now I know the trick. Oh, we got it. Now I get it. Okay, so the next day I just see it, I just do whatever, and somehow the taste doesn't come. But there's no trick. Krishna consciousness. There's no some, like, now I got it, now I'm safe. Yeah, when you're like a pure devotee, you gave up your false ego, your whole identity in this material world. Yeah, maybe there you are saved. Krishna really takes care of you personally. He's just right there. But up to that, there is no tricks. There is a process you have to follow. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, abhyasa. Abhyasa means practice. You have to practice. And some days it works, and some days it works less, or doesn't work. Or we get totally mental instead of get elevated. Because we have still material contaminations, material mind and body. And we try to engage them in Krishna's service, but matter and spirit are incompatible. There is no compatibility. As soon as you try to do something spiritual with this body, there is resistance. We're used to this body, to the subtle body, and now also to the gross body. But the subtle body is with us like maybe millions of lifetimes. We don't know how long. We always go, the same ideas, the same habits, just translated from one body to another, and go and go and go. And then suddenly we start to like some spiritual process, like chanting. So of course there is lots of resistance. We have different habits, we have different tastes collected throughout the years and throughout the millions of years. And now we're trying something which is not compatible with it. So of course there is revolution everywhere. The body, mind, the false ego, why are you doing it? It's too much. And then we have also other influences, like some subtle influences like demigods and other entities which are envious and they want to stop us. Very often we hear Indra gets really agitated when somebody gets too advanced in some process of yoga. And other demigods, they're also testing us. There are servants of Krishna, and they take care that nobody gets too easy from this material world. They're really testing us. And why they do it? Because we always look for happiness in this material world. And throughout the lifetimes, now we are trying all kinds of enjoyment and trying to be happy, right? This and that and something else. And now we found Krishna consciousness, and everybody of us probably who joined felt this happiness, like this being a little bit free from the material suffering, like something else. So then, of course, the demigods and Maya, they are testing us. It's just you and others just trying to escape from the material suffering, or you really interested, right, in Krishna consciousness? What is your attitude? What is your consciousness? So we're getting tests from everywhere. And and then we try to fight it. We try to in some way make progress. But we should not be expecting that it will be easy. At least not always. On the other hand, as Prabhupada said, and Bhagavatam demonstrates, you can become Krishna conscious in just a second. It is really a decision. Like giving up all the material designations, giving up false ego, and just offering yourself fully to Krishna. And that's it. There is no trick. You just offer yourself fully to Krishna. Whatever he wants to do with you, whatever he sends you, that's his mercy, you accept them fully, and so on. This also requires a little bit of praxis sometimes. Maybe you have experience. But that actually means Krishna consciousness. That we do everything for pleasure of Krishna. We offer ourselves completely to Him. Hear this verse, Anyabhilashitu. We should give up everything, Jnana Karmari, Anaritam, Jnana Karma, everything we should give up. And then what shall we do? Anukulena Krishna Shilana. Right? Exactly. Yeah. And in this verse, Anukulena is very important. Anukulena Krishna. That we do whatever we do with intention to please Krishna. We just don't do something and think Krishna will be happy with it. Like automatic again. No? Automatically. No, our attitude should be always, we do it with the intention to make Krishna happy. It's not enough to think, oh, I just do service and Krishna will be happy. Or I just do something and Krishna will be happy because it's for him. In this way, there are many demons, they make great service. They make Krishna happy. Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, some other great demons gave good fights to Krishna. And Krishna was happy, Krishna was satisfied. But it doesn't make them for great devotees. So, this attitude, our consciousness, is extremely important. Why we do stuff. And when we chant our rounds and we feel, okay, I make progress, I purify myself, and so on. And we're very attentive, we get some taste, we get some experience of that. But when we chant and we think, wow, I'm associating directly with Krishna, right? With Radha and Krishna. And Krishna is really happy when I chant his name. He wants us to chant his name, right? So I just do it to please him and to be in his association and, to beg him for more service, that he can give me more service for him. Immediately we get great taste and great realizations. Immediately, after just few rounds. And if we don't follow in trick, for the trick of the mind again, like the mind tells you, oh, now you get the trick. Oh, now you know, like this. Because as soon as we think, yeah, I got it, now I know how to get the best of Krishna consciousness. Then Krishna takes the taste away again. And we have to again struggle. So this should be our meditation always. How I please Krishna, how I make Krishna happy. The more we do it, the more progress we do, the more pure we become, the more transcendental even. And then we don't have to worry about the karma, varna, ashrama, jnana, whatever else. Like we have this part of Bhagavatam here. Bali Maharaj in 8th canto, end of the 8th canto. And here we had, what was his name? King Shardra. And you can wonder why we have these people here in this Bhagavatam. Okay, Bali Maharaj is Mahajan. And how he became a Mahajan, how he became glorified devotee, he rejected his guru. Shukracharya told him, don't give anything to this guy. He is Vishnu, he will take everything from you. Direct instruction from spiritual master. Right? And even more, there's said in Puranas that because when you make a contract with someone, you promise something, you pour some water. Right? That's another meaning, because the water is like hard drive of the universe. The water carries all the memories. Right? The water has a memory. And this is like a hard drive. And you think, printed in water, it stays there practically forever. And then there's another verse in 12th canto of Bhagavatam which tells us that we should look for the quality water, what we drink. Anyway, that's another story. So the Bali Maharaj tried to put some water on the head of Ramana, to solidify the contract, the agreement. And then Shukracharya made himself very small, and he entered the jar, or jug, or whatever was this, or the bottle from which Bali Maharaj tried to put the water, and the water was not coming. So he even physically, blocked, wanted to block Bali Maharaj. And then Bali Maharaj took some straw and made it, through. And then Shukracharya lost his eye in that way. He got the straw in the eye. But he rejected his spiritual master, right? And we glorify him. And here we have the King Prishada, who was also cursed by his spiritual master. So he said, well, you cursing me? I go. I become transcendental devotee now. And he went back to Godhead. And this Prabhupada even writes that it seems that Vasishta, the spiritual master of Prishada, was also like under the influence of ignorance. So he wasn't of the highest level. So now when we look at the Bhagavatam, it starts like beginning with great devotees. Who is at the beginning of Bhagavatam? The first great person who is described in detail.
Ram.
Who?
Ram.
No, a little more. Like there's a long, detailed description. It's Kardama Muni. And Kardama Muni, he follows everything. All the rules and regulations, yoga, meditation, and so on. He has still material desires. He achieves perfection, right? The Vishnu appears in front of him, and what do you want? And he says, why give me wife? No. Not really clever decision, but anyway, right? He got a wife from Vishnu and so on. So we have following rules and regulations, achieving perfection, and then you are an exemplary, you get even as Vishnu as your son, right? And then you get liberation at the end. So like whole long story, long process. And then as we progress, through Bhagavatam, we have different persons, and each of them is a little bit on higher level, you can say. Dhruva Maharaj just goes and meditates for, what was it, like 6 months or something? Yeah. And then he becomes pure devotee just like that. And then you have Prahlad Maharaj, who even before he was born, he was pure devotee, right? And then it goes more, like here we have Bali Maharaj, he rejects his guru, Prisharda, same. So this rules and regulation becomes much less, right? That's what how Krishna says, Sarva Dharma Parityaja. Give up all the kind of religion of Dharma and surrender to me. It's very interesting verse in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna doesn't say Sarva Papa Parityaja, give up all kinds of sins. No, everything, religion, all the rules and regulations, just surrender to me. And as we progress through the Bhagavatam, we see there's more and more, until we come to the 10th canto, which are gopis, right? And the gopis they don't care for anything. They just, Krishna is calling them, they just run, right? They just come. There's no rules and regulations at the cowherd boy, there's they eat something, Krishna want to try it, it's nice. Right? We don't do this on the altar. Pujari is coming and trying afterwards. Very good, Krishna, you can eat. Well, if you are on this level, you can do it. We are not yet, mostly. Yeah. So we see the progress here. The same thing for us. At the beginning we come sure, full sadhana, Prabhupada gave us such a perfect process. And actually, if you look all around the world, there are so many societies now of Vaishnavas. And I know some of the societies, how topsy-turvy everything is there. They, some time ago, I saw some on Facebook, some statement. I was like, oh, that's wrong. I wrote something about it. That that's not actually how you present it. And then they like puts all the quotes, from like Buddhist families and books, and the books I never heard of even, and they quote the verses from there, and this and that and that. And then half of the verses actually confirmed that what I said, not what they say. But anyway, the thing is, they can quote, all the societies, they can quote Shastra and speak like this. Raghunath Das Goswami writes here, that's the rasa between Radha and Krishna, and all these things. And it's all discussed by the people who don't even follow primitive principles. And they go to the highest rasas and speculate. And if you do this, then actually Krishna will dance for you. He will be like, puppet in your hands. And what is it? Now that's a false ego. I go to spiritual world, and I will be the God. He will be dancing for me. Krishna will be dancing for me. There's no understanding. The Goswamis wrote all this literature for like very advanced devotees who are just so advanced they're just practically spiritual already, and they need some more understanding of rasas and so on. It's not for people who don't follow principles, and not even the hardest like sex principle, not even like gambling or something. I know some of those devotees, people, and they're discussing all this. So by like that, you could just build it. Because it's not by the jnana, by the knowledge. If I know this person and that, and I do this with the man, then I get bhakti at the end. No, the jnana becomes a great obstacle, like the greatest obstacle there. You think of everything, but there's no bhakti, there's no really pleasing Krishna in it. There's no love. The love doesn't come from jnana. Bhakti Bhagavate Bhakti Bhagavate Bhaktiya. Bhakti comes from bhakti, not from anything else. And how the bhakti comes? Through association of the devotees. You should always look for association of the devotees. And also, don't discriminate. Oh, he's just bhakta. Oh, he doesn't chant his rounds properly. Or he is just a nasty guy. As soon as we make distinctions in our mind, we make offenses. And offenses against the devotees are very serious. I don't know if you knew it, but if you commit offense to a devotee, and he became a pure devotee, it counts like you committed offense against a pure devotee. Did you know that? Oh, really? No? So you see, like Vashishta cursed, what is his name? Pradishta, the king here. And the king became a liberated person, pure devotee. So Vashishta committed great offense against pure devotee. So now we will go around and think, he's a nonsense. What she's doing, this Mataji, and you committed offenses like that. How we can make progress? And we think in our mind, when the great devotee comes here, then, I will smile, I will serve him. But the problem is, you have this attitude. Even the greatest devotee can come here, a pure devotee, you will not recognize him. Even if Prabhupada comes here, he decides the ISKCON is not as I thought, I incarnate again. And he comes here, he's like Western body, white, and maybe like 25 years old or something. And he starts to preach and so on. Who are you? We have books of Prabhupada, because we wouldn't recognize him. That's a mistake many devotees do. I only listen to very advanced devotees. But how will you know who is the very advanced? Unless you become very advanced. And without mercy of all the Vaishnavas, you cannot get really advanced. That's a story from Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Govinda Das. Govinda Das, he got mercy of Lord Chaitanya like no one else. Only he got special mercy. Everybody knows who was the mercy. What was the mercy? In Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yes. No, when Lord Chaitanya was washing the feet, he could get the water and he could drink. I think 3 times even. This was the only person. And why? Lord Chaitanya agreed to that. Because Govinda Das was going to every Vaishnava and taking his remnants of food. Like every, not just, I go only like, the Damodar, Ramana Roy, I go to them, they're great devotees. And he was going everywhere. And he saw the devotee, he was just going, please can I take your little Mahaprasadam to you? And those devotees who didn't agree to that, he like tricked them a little bit. There was one devotee who was always very careful that he doesn't give his food remnants to anyone. So Govinda Das came to his home with nice mangoes. He said, can I give these mangoes? And he said, okay. No. Govinda Das then left, and he was hiding in the bushes. And the mangoes, there's this skin and the seed inside. It's very hard to get stuff on it, so you have to suck on it. So this devotee, ate the mango, sucked on the pits, on the stones, and looked around, okay, nobody there, he threw it away. And then Govinda Das was going, yucky! Like that. And that's when he met Lord Chaitanya, and Lord Chaitanya was so pleased with him. He just, okay, you do it. Nobody else could do it. Not even the greatest devotees, like Ramana or so on. So that is an example for us. And we see younger devotees, no, we should not think, what they do, nonsense, whatever. No, we should give them protection. Give them our mercy, that they progress. Not think, I'm older, I am already, especially sometimes you hear bhaktas, some few bhaktas join at similar time in the temple, and the bhakta program, and sometimes you hear them, you should listen to me. I'm 3 months longer than you, just like consciousness. Now, I'm older devotee, you should listen to me. Right? Had this experience somewhere? We had a bhakta program a few times in our temple. You hear nice pastime somewhere. But after some time, you just start to realize, it doesn't matter how long are you. Like when I joined, it was like, I was making progress, like, wow, it was like, I was feeling how I make progress. It was like, every day it was like clearer and purer and everything. And I thought, oh my God, like in 10 years, I can't even imagine. I will be like, flying around, in the Vaikuntha airplane or something. I just couldn't imagine how, But then at one point it just stopped. And I was like, And then 5 years passed, and 10 years passed, and 15, and I was like, somehow, it doesn't work so much as I thought at the beginning. And after some time, you just realize, if you don't do something about yourself, if you don't do something to improve your devotional service, your consciousness, your attachment and love for Krishna, nothing will come automatically. You can run the whole life doing all kinds of stuff, and at the end, you still may be miserable and frustrated, and you just die and take another birth, another running lifetime. So it's very important for us to take responsibility for our life. Like here we see, it was like, Bali Maharaj, his guru tells him, no, don't do this. And people criticize him. I said, no, I do it for Krishna, for Vishnu, right? And he surrendered, he became glorified. all around the place. As a great devotee, as a Maharaja. So for us also, we should not look, okay, oh, my Guru will give me instructions and then I will progress or whatever. Take responsibility for your life. Right now, not in sometime, in 10 years or whatever. No, the time is now and here. And that's it. Otherwise, we may waste our lifetime and not achieve anything. Or very little. Next lifetime we start again. I started and I thought, woo! But I came to some level and that was it. That was probably from last lifetime. And I was like, went very quickly and then, wow, there's like a wall. What do I do next? So, okay, the next lifetime we start and go very quickly to the level we were, but then again, the same problems will come with the mind, body, or desires, or whatever else. So the time is now. It's always now and here. Not wait for the next year or for initiation, or for second initiation, or for sannyas. Some devotees also, like, I spoke with one devotee and said, I told him, you were so serious before. Like, why, you're so doing all other stuff nowadays? Because he was really nice and serious. I said, yeah, because I have these material desires, I have to fulfill them. And then when I take vanaprastha, then I will be pure completely, and then I can, well, I hope it happens for him, but the chance is very little. We go like, no, when I take vanaprastha and then the sannyas, then I will follow everything. I will be following this, all the sadhana, and I will have chanting nicely. Now I can chant by watching movies, that's no problem. I'm still the husband. I hope for him, he's really nice, but it may not happen. It may not happen. We're playing with fire, with Krishna, we may get burned. Krishna is not stupid. I also some guy told me once, it's written in Nectar of Devotion, if you have tilak and tulsi, then you go back to Godhead. So I just always take care that I'm properly marked. But Krishna is not fool. I mean, have you ever broken tulasi? No? And just imagine, you woke up in the morning and your tulasi is broken. Say, oh, okay, I will repair it later. And you go under shower, you take the shower, the tilak is gone, and you go out of the shower and you're dead. Right? Krishna is not fool. No? He knows exactly what you're thinking, how you're thinking. You think you're so safe because you have to see and tilak. I am a devotee. Yamadutas will not come. Ha ha ha. Here we are. No. Yes. No. So we don't play with fire. No. We try to surrender to Krishna. And what does it mean surrender? No. Sometimes we hear surrender is like, you fall on the floor and just lay there and I'm surrendering. Krishna, do whatever. No. We surrender our heart. Yes. So Krishna can enter in our heart. We give our love to him. That's what is it. Any questions?
I wondered, you said that in the beginning you advanced very quickly and you saw how the consciousness gets purified and then you stopped. And I wonder, when did you move again? What happened?
When I realized I have to do something. You know, I joined like 90s, let's say. I joined to the temple, beginning of 90s. I don't know, it was 91 or something. And there was still this old idea, you know, that you just do yourself, you just run around, and then you get bhakti. One day you get this prema, Krishna will reciprocate. So that's what we are doing. We're just, you know, going to books and making restaurants and preaching and stuff, but it was all just running around. And then you're just waiting, you know, like, hey, when I get, you know. But there was no consciousness that I have to do it for Krishna with this intention. You know? And then I had it after, I know, like after a long time, I think I was 10 or more years in the movement, and somebody told me, yeah, you get bhakti when you work already with bhakti for Krishna. And it was so new for me. And I was like, what? Nobody told me. You know? Before. And I was like, my whole life was like broken. I was like, oh my God, you know? I was doing everything wrong or whatever. It's like, and it took me some time to get over it, to really understand what it means and so on. Yeah. And then I realized, I have to take care of this. Because there was also this mood, you know, that spiritual master, he will, you know, help you and he will pick you up and whatever. Just do everything with spiritual master, and it will just happen. Something will happen. Nobody could tell what, but something will be there. And then, it took me something, I don't know, 1 or 2 years. And I really got the point, really got the idea. I said, no, I have to take responsibility for myself. Yes. Nobody will change my routes for me or, you know, turn my consciousness in the right way. Yeah, sometimes you have proper guru who will keep you there, you know. But very often not. You have to take responsibility and say, yes, now I'm in this movement and I'm changing my rounds and I'm not making any progress. What's wrong? Huh? And then you study yourself. Or, the better, if you have all the devotees, and I didn't, it was very difficult times at this time, like everybody left. There were just few devotees left in Germany at least. So I had to do it by myself mostly. Whoever was coming was asking questions. But if you have devotees around who can help you, just go there to them. You know, ask, look, I do this and this, maybe I should change something. Maybe you give me some tip, maybe, you know, let's chant together or something like that. Huh? Just endeavor. Your whole life depends on it. Not only this life, many lifetimes in the future, if you don't make it this lifetime. Material things we always take very seriously. Like business, you know. Oh, this, I'm very focused, I'm very, you know, because it's money. You know, my life depends on it. And devotional service, so many lives depends on it. You know. You don't want to have many lives. Just this lifetime. That's enough. So take it seriously and try to see where is the problem. And if you don't find it, go to someone. Usually devotees, you know, they see what's the problem. If you ask them nicely, they can tell you.
I was thinking there's also two sides, you know, because it's also written in Bhagavad Gita, if you cannot have the experience and by working for you, you feel the desire. So then the desire is also, it's not actually good. Sometimes we are not, it's very difficult to produce this devotion, you know, like because I just want to have it, but it comes from chanting, even if it's mechanical chanting, at some point, you know, it can be that, I mean, like we're getting some purification to want to be sincere. So then I think it's like both sides, even if it is service without feeling. So
yes, we get purified, you know. Only the problem is if we do devotional service to get purified, that's karma mishra bhakti. It may take very long time. We get purified even if we do something for Krishna, we don't know. You know, like in some languages, Ram, like in Polish we have word Rama in so many words. So you chant Rama and from speak normal language, just chant Rama. And you still like now we make progress, right? This Agyata Sukriti. And say we come to Krishna consciousness and we do something for Krishna to get purified, to get love for him and so on. Ultimately, yes, we get it. But it may take a very long time because it's Karma Mishra Bhakti. And Jnana Mishra Bhakti is a little bit higher than we try to get knowledge and try to understand all this, rasas and whatever else. But still it may be very contaminating. So, but ultimately, yes, you come to this point of Krishna consciousness. I was making more a point, is like, why to wait? If we know it, we should just do it. And even if there's no emotion there at the beginning, but if our attitude, our consciousness is that like, I do it for Krishna, because he likes it and I want to make him happy, and I want a connection with him, I want to open my heart. Even there's no emotion at first, it comes very quickly. Krishna reciprocates very quickly. So there is no loss, no diminution on this. Nehavikramanashasti. Whatever we do on this path is good, but we can do it better.
You mentioned about relationship, the new ones and the older ones, in the length of time spent, in one place, or as a devotee. See, I felt that it is very important, my experience, to see to develop good relationship. It's so important to look at rather than the difference, the common grounds, to develop a better relationship. Because there are tendencies that people are, and also Vaishnava etiquette, is very important. Because through that, you help your fellow devotees, you are not just come there and just chap, and you can talk to him one-on-one, then, try to, because it's so easy to, to feel like, hey, like, in America we call it holier than thou, so we have to build bridges, and walls, and it's like a white paper, you look at it, it's okay, but when you see the black dots, oh boy, you make it bigger,
Yeah, I
so
understand.
etiquette is the answer to this,
Yeah. So to your point, as it's true what you say, we should look for common sense,
Yes.
and so on. See, relationship means you can relate to everyone, and not everyone is the same. We are not Mayavadis, like, oh, everybody. Everybody is different. There's different personality, different karma, different desires, different everything. There's no two people that are same. So the culture and the etiquette is to know how you relate to everyone. Therefore, Rupa Goswami wrote these books, how you relate to devotees. The Vaishnava etiquette, Sanatana Goswami saying. He tells you, with this devotee you make friendship, with this you take care of him, to this one you listen, and so on and so forth. Right? We are not all one. Otherwise, why we need the gurus, why we need bhaktas? We just can, everybody who comes, become a guru. Right? So there are differences, and we have to see it, and we have to respect it. Right? So more like, looking for the same feeling, and no, you go with the respect. That's actually the key word in this. Etiquette means respect. You know how to respect everyone. The person who comes first time to the temple, he's really interested. You respect the person. You may not take instruction from him, right? Or may not to listen to him because whatever, but he is to be respected. Yesterday, as I saw yesterday, some Americans were here, and they're talking about the Gopi and how beautiful, and they have like 100 whatever dresses, and they were like, wow, like it was exciting for them. Like I could see they really appreciate Krishna. They really appreciate Radha Gopinath. So you offer them some respect. They come with respect. But I was not going to take instructions from them how to make my sadhana better or whatever else. So we should see the differences also. And then relate. Relationship is good. You can relate to everyone. And if you are humble and meek, you take the instructions for everyone, anyone. Like this yogi in 12th canto. Take from the bee, from the tree, from prostitute, whatever. No problem. You can learn from everyone. You have to just be a proper standard one, humble, and so on. So we are not Mayavadis, that everything is one, and you see the light. There are these new movements now. You see the light, and you feel the love, and we are all one, and in Brahman, yes, you go to Brahman, everything is one. There is much more than that. There's relations. Even in the spiritual world, there are differences between the devotees. So this we have to see, we have to respect, and we have to relate to everyone accordingly. Anything else? Okay.
As we talk about relations with devotees and channel people, if, for example, someone hurts you or says something negative, and then you start creating some, or negative thoughts towards them, or feel hurt and you don't want to associate anymore, how is the best to rebuild the relationship? Try to explain them how you feel, or try to pray for them, or try to just avoid for some time to.
Well, that really depends on the person and what such a person can take. If somebody is envious, then you should just stop any relationship with that person. If somebody is just, in ignorance and just cannot see it, try to give association, not take. Try to give the association so that they can, develop. And somebody who is just a little bit bewildered, but you like each other, then you try to talk or something like that. Because it really depends on the person, who is it and what relationship you have with the person. But if somebody is envious, they should avoid at all costs. And if somebody is too ignorant, what can you do? Just give some prasadam maybe or something. Whatever you can. And also don't associate too much. You can try to give the association, but if you see it doesn't work, also, because if we are not strong enough, then we may actually degrade ourselves. We may start to take association from such a person, and then we start to also feel like materialistic people. So it very much depends on the relationship and the person. Where is the person at? Okay. Radhadesh, Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Living etiquette, you know from the heart too. If you reject the person and needs respect, then it's okay. Because we don't own the karma. Right? So, it's good to meet you. We talked there, you know. She's a little great friendship. You might discover something question. But like I said, everybody is not going to see that because they think that the length of time allows them to give them authority, you know, to be. You have to do that like that this way, you know. It's funny how you encounter people, you know, because theory, needs to have practical demonstrations. If you say something and you do another thing, okay, you know, that's not consciousness. But again, what can you do? I can only react because your reactions depends on, you can hurt yourself or you can make yourself better, because that's the mercy of Krishna. To put you in that situation so you can learn.
It's always having something that you can see.
She went to India because she didn't know she has cancer. She's a Prabhupada's disciple, Mother Krishna Lady. That he asked her anyway. But she came back, she had always this big tumor in the uterus. And you know what she told us? It's the mercy of Krishna. Because Krishna sometimes, I've experienced it. Put us in a situation where we don't have anything to hold on to. And that's where you actually feel Krishna's presence, I went through that, And then after that I said, oh, I don't care, if you put me here in whatever situation, just please let me remember you, Thank you very much, sir.
Krishna Krishna, Hare